listen in. And literally, I'm just going to speak for like 10-15 minutes. And then it's really open to you ladies to ask me any questions. And Ruchi over here, Ruchika, she's a coach on my team. So if you've seen her on my post and me sharing about her, she's doing awesome too.
Hi,
Hi, hey Kavya,
Hi.
good to see you.
Hey, Preeti. Good to
How
see
are
you as
you?
well. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So what
Hey,
I'll just,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry,
saw.
just request all of you to mute for a few minutes so that, there's no noise coming and, it doesn't get recorded just for everyone's. But let me just introduce myself. You all have been watching me, following me, or in my group, Preeti Gandhi. I have been a coach with Beachbody for a little over 5 years. And I started this as a passion project, really as a hobby to just share what I'm doing, how I'm eating, because I knew, there are many fitness influencers out there, right? People who are, they're trained, they have all the knowledge, and I am just a mom sharing my journey. But what I really realized is there were so many women just like me who wanted to find an easy, convenient way to do this, right? Without all that tam jam of like, I have to see a personal trainer, I have to hire a nutritionist, I have to do all this in order to get results. Whereas I found a simple, convenient way that worked. And it's simple because, Beachbody has done an amazing job of designing programs in a way which gives you nutrition guidance, gives you a structured program based on your fitness level. You can pick whatever program you pick. Literally every program will give you results if you do the work, right? If you work out regularly, you eat as per plan, and and the eating I loved, because earlier I was eating very less as a vegetarian. I thought I was eating healthy, eating salads and all that wasn't enough. I ended up with like a binge eating problem. At night I'll be hungry, and then I'd go in the pantry and raid the pantry. So literally I actually formed a really bad eating habit from the way I was eating. So Beachbody's program literally helped me overcome all these issues. And I love the group setting, which I'd never done before, accountability. In a group setting, I was never a person who could work out at home, always a gym rat. I needed to be in class with other people in order to get a workout in. I just didn't know how to work out at home. I had a treadmill, just could never do it. So I love that these 30-minute workouts, good mix of different workouts, gave me the results. In like 3 weeks, I saw results, right? Like I lost some weight. I dropped like a dress size, and I was like, all right, this is making sense. I'm going to continue doing it for 3 months. And I did that for another 3 months, dropped like 3 dress sizes, lost like 20 pounds. I was feeling amazing in my skin. And I was dedicated, right? I was committed that I need to do this. So what happens after that? How do I stay motivated? And my coach was at the time saying, Preeti, you're so committed. You got results. You need to share this. You should have started sharing this from the day you started. I was like, I don't have time, full-time job, nothing. Every excuse in the book, like, I can't do this. So she kept asking me over and over again. And then I was like, all right, end of summer, let me think about it. And festival season was coming in, Diwali and the whole 9 years, you know how it is for us. And I said, all right, I'll start sharing, but I'm never sharing a before after picture. I am not sharing my pictures in a sports bra. I am not doing all that because I am not that kind of person. I am an introvert. I'll share like I'm working out. I'll share what I'm eating with that. So she said, okay, just do that. Start whatever you're comfortable. And I started doing it, and I was like, all right, telling my friends about it. They were like, good for you. Nobody wanted to buy anything from me. None of my friends, my closest friends, nobody wanted to, literally nobody supported me. So I just went back to her a month later. I said, this is not working. I thought once I start sharing, I'm going to find people and they're going to come join me. And she's like, no, it doesn't work like that. She's like, even though you're reaching out to people, you have to keep showing up and showing them that this is doable with your lifestyle. And she's like, you have to dig deep and see what were the reasons why you started. More than weight loss, anything, it was a mental thing for me because I was silently going through depression, which I wasn't ready to admit. Not that I admitted to the whole world right away, but there were many challenges I had. So I slowly started to piecemeal my vulnerability, and people started to relate to it. Like, how finding support is difficult, how like all these difficulties I faced, but I build a connection through my stories and just showing up every day, sharing my reasons why I do this. And till date, luckily, people like you trusted me and started to join my community. And it started by friends of friends I would reach out to, like things I would never even imagine I'd have time to do or felt like doing. I started doing it, like asking somebody like, hey, do you want to, like, hey, are you looking at fitness, building a fitness lifestyle? I'm doing this and I love it and it's doable in this time frame. Do you want to do it? It's 30-minute workouts. And first they were like, no, no, no. Then one day I built the courage and shared my results, like a before and after, which I did not want to do. And I remember I posted it and I ran away from my laptop. I was like, I cannot see what people are going to say. This is so embarrassing. But I'm glad I did it, and my husband was my biggest supporter. He was like, just do it. It might help one lady. And that's how I started. One lady I wanted to help. And that one turned into so many more ladies after that. So my story literally is, you just have to trust the process. It's not easy initially. You have to hang in there till you start building that trust and connection with your audience, like literally. And so that's what I say. This is how I built myself. I became a fitness wellness influencer, that a working mom in her 40s started doing this at home, got results, started sharing and showing other women. And literally my business built by word of mouth initially, because if I was helping women get results, if they were seeing changes even in a month, guess what? They're going to tell it to their friends and their friends will want to do it too. And if somebody brought a friend to me, I'll be like, why don't you sign them up? So that way you earn the commission. I don't want the commission. You can add them to my group. Eventually you'll learn how these groups are run, which is not that complicated. And you start building a business. So literally, I don't even like to call it a business. I like to call it a way where, I'm recommending this to people. They're loving it and they join our community. And I give them the same opportunity that I was given by my coach, that you can make an income doing this. And that's literally how you do it. And the way you build your, your business is really by having other people convert into coaches. Once they learn how Beachbody programs work, or maybe you are already doing fitness and nutrition and you love what you do. But the fact of the matter is, to build a business, it's just not coaching them through fitness and nutrition. It's also about what products and services they're purchasing from you. If people stop purchasing from me, I'm not going to make a single penny. That means I'm just providing my services for free, which doesn't make sense, right? But as a coach, I do provide a whole lot more than other Beachbody coaches, because I am passionate about it. I just don't want to get people in and just tell them something and be like, you're done. I show them how to use it, how to apply it, how I apply it, so that they get the benefits of it. So literally my journey started by sharing what I do. And this is from somebody who was never athletic, who did not even love fitness. I just did it because I was like, I need to get in shape. But I loved it because coaching not only gave me the opportunity to first build a habit, because hey, if I have to build a business on fitness and wellness, I need to do it regularly, right? It builds accountability when I share it with the world. And then it gave me something which no other gym ever gave me, was the gift of personal development. I didn't even know such a thing existed till I became a coach. It's the first virtue of being a coach, is working on your mindset. Because you can eat well, you can work out, but if you don't take care of the things in your head, you cannot grow as a person. And I've learned so much from it, not only applicable to my life, to my workplace, but obviously to this business as well. And when people say, how are you resilient? How are you always smiling? It's because it gives you that attitude to appreciate what you have and, make the most out of it. Even if you're going through a phase which is horrible. And I'm going to tell you, last year was tough for me emotionally, but I still got through it because it teaches you patience. It teaches you how to stick with it and not quit. And yeah, so over time, you learn these gifts as you go. So I have a very short presentation that I want to share with you. Give me a quick second. I've covered most of it. I've shared this, who I am. And you guys can see this, right? Okay, cool. And then how I started sharing, I shared my journey, what I was doing, what products I like, about me. You guys know I talk about my daughters, how much fun they make of me. But when I started this journey, they were always by my side. They wanted to work out with me. Now they run away from me. Like, your energy is too much for us. So that's the teenage life. How you get started. So say you're like, hey, Preeti, this sounds great, but how do I start? So literally, if you're already enrolled in a program with me, it's very simple. I would say give this program a month till you get used to the workouts and the systems and everything, and then consider becoming a coach. But if you already have friends who are ready to sign up, we can still make you title you as a coach while you're still learning as you go. Beachbody has like a lot of training material. You get training material from me. I literally like have system set in place that walks you step by step what you need to do in order to find success, how to use social media. But a lot of it also, like Instagram and all that, you can learn it so easily online as well. I'll give you tips and tricks. I'll give you like samples of how I write my posts or examples. But ultimately, it has to be you. It has to be authentic, because what I write, you'll see Ruchi writes completely different. My other coaches write completely different, because we all are in different phases of life, right? So like somebody who has a toddler, she's not going to be talking about like teenage life. So it's really about you, what you're comfortable sharing, you share, but we have enough resources to get you started. So I do get a lot of objections, and these are very common objections that I wanted to address. Like people who get started, they're like, I don't want to share anything because I haven't reached my before and after. That's the number one thing. I haven't got results. So I'm going to tell you, people want to know more about the journey than the results. I could share so many results of mine or of my clients, but people want to know, how did she do it? How long did it take? What did she eat? What were her daily habits? So when you start sharing those pieces of your journey, people are more interested in that. You don't have to be a fitness expert, because Beachbody has all the homework done for you. We are what I count ourselves as accountability coach, or your hype girl, somebody who hypes someone to like get their workout and check in with them. Like, hey, are you getting your workout in? And my new clients will tell you, I am like checking in the group, and not literally every day calling them out, but every 2 or 3 days, I will call you out and say, hey, where are you? Are you okay? Because sometimes people are not okay and they don't tell me. So that's literally what we do. But Beachbody has all these programs created, which I recommend to my clients. The other things are like, hey, I don't want to sell things. Yes, that's the number one thing people get. Like, I don't want to talk about money. Money is a very tricky thing to talk about. And I was the same way. I was like, I cannot tell somebody it costs this much to start. So $160 it costs to start. And I paid that much money. So this is the way I look at it. If I am paying that much money per month, why is it difficult for me to share this with somebody? It's not like I can change the price. It is a fixed price by Beachbody. And sometimes they'll have discounts or something. I obviously offer it to new clients when they join me, but it's something I pay. I still pay every month for my shakes. I still pay every month for my supplements. It doesn't come free to me just because I'm a coach. It's just that I get a 25% discount on it, which I offer it as well to my clients and customers once they start loving the products. No one will follow me. Again, I built this business with barely any followers. All right. I barely even had 1,000, not even 1,000, like a few hundred followers initially. Like when I started building a team, I probably had 200 or 300 followers. That's it. It's really about building connection with the people. It's really about having, the ability to reach out to people initially, right? Because you could be a small account and you're telling people about all these awesome things, but they're like, I don't know. And sometimes people wait for you to come and ask. That's what I have seen. And that has been my experience. Like I would have friends watching me until I didn't reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you want to know more? And they're like, yeah, tell me. But I don't want to buy. I'm like, that's okay. Get the information. If you do change your mind, let me know. And then next month later, I'll reach out. Hey, remember I told you about that? I'm starting another group. Do you want to come? And then they might be ignoring me for a few months. Eventually they come around. So this is the nature of the business. And some people want to start right away and they'll bring their friends too. And I'm like, let's do it. And you will build. How do you make money? That is the most fun part. Again, I'm going to cover this at a very high level because yes, people want to know, how do you make money? So initially, when you're just a coach, like anytime you sell like a package that I sell for 160, I'm only earning $50 from it. The rest Beachbody earns from it. But what I'm earning is commissions if somebody continues to buy the products from me. And you earn anywhere like, depending on what products they're buying, 10 to 25% commission. And if somebody bought like Beachbody on demand, you're earning 40% commission on it. So it varies. However, over time, these commissions compound. And I can tell you, like, over the years, they just keep increasing. They just keep increasing, they keep compounding. And then you're not just dependent on, hey, I only signed up so many people and I'm just going to earn $50 per person. No, it is also repetition of customers who are buying products, coaches who are also able to bring in people and making a commission. I'm not taking away their commission, but Beachbody will pay me for the number of people they bring in. So overall, it compounds and it does well. But in order to grow it as a full-fledged business, you have to keep bringing in coaches who also believe in this process of wellness, believe in giving back, and are not shy of disappointment, because disappointment is part of this whole thing. Like, doesn't matter whichever business you go, very rarely you're going to see somebody who's like, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to get it from me? How many times do we think like, it's a good idea, but I'm not ready for it, right? But eventually, when you keep showing value, you keep showing you're using it, you're doing it, and it works, people do come around. So I just want you to know that. Cool thing is you don't have to stock anything. You're not liable for holding any stocks or anything like that. So literally whatever people want to buy, Beachbody just ships it. You just send a link and that's it. No minimum stocks or anything. So quickly, how do you get started? If you want to make this as a business, is you bring in your people, bring in your friends. If you're loving what you're getting out of this, or you're loving the groups, or you're loving what you see online, and you're not part of my group yet, all you have to do to get started is find 2 people who want to do this with you. And that's how we start building it out. And once you find your 2 people, and they start getting their results and having fun, they'll probably tell others like, hey, let's do it. And it can be a fun challenge, right? If you think about it, New Year, everybody's trying to get healthy now. Like, this is the best time to start. All you have to do is probably reach out in your circle of friends and say, hey, I'm doing this online thing. You never have to leave home. It's fun. It's going to be in a group setting. And you get all these meal plan recipes, which I have created, and I give it away for free in my groups. And people love it. People love it, and they want to do this. So don't ever think like you're left high and dry. You have me to guide you. You have enough resources. And literally, when you start out, I initially say, like, for the first 1 month, put your people in our group so that they form that habits of being accountable. You're not left high and dry doing everything yourself, and you're learning it as you go. And last but not least, the perks that come besides an income are you do get rewards. I keep getting gifts every 3 months from Beachbody for hitting like minimum business goals. I've been getting it for years. And trips. I've earned many trips from Beachbody. Unfortunately, the last 2 years have not been the best. Like, even this year, I had a trip planned for Punta Cana in March, but I had to cancel. So next year, I am going to Mexico. I've already earned a 5-day trip for that. So every year, Beachbody will reward you with trips if you keep up with like the minimum requirement of at least signing up 3 people a month, which is not that crazy. Like, that's the bare minimum you have to do. But obviously you want to grow, you bring in more and more people who want to get fit, and why not, right? So with that said, this is what Beachbody has given me from a monetary perspective, but it's also given me many friends, which I would have never met if I didn't join this community. Like, I have made so many, like, these are all my friends. This was at our last Beachbody Summit, where we all had gone. There were like 30,000 coaches from all over Canada and US. And it's literally like a big concert for like 3 days. We work out together. We go to conferences. We have dinners together, have fun together. And I would have never met these people if it wasn't for Beachbody. So I am forever grateful. And what better way to connect through fitness and living a healthy lifestyle? And these are the most positive people I've ever met. So there you have it. So I want to open this for questions. What questions do you ladies have for me?
That was great, Preeti. So just curious, I mean, how many people that join you actually, try to become coaches? Or
So I'm going to tell you, Not many want to do it because obviously the workload scares them.
Mhm.
And, those who do start, I've had many who've also quit. I'm going to be honest with you because it takes work. It takes resilience more than anything. And the workload you've seen, like I work in pockets of time. My mornings are my time. I don't let business or anything come in that. I do my mindset practices, I do my workouts, and that's it. But then I plan on Sundays. Like Sundays are my planning day. Like if I want to create content, I'll plan it out for 3 weeks and then I'm done. Yeah, I spend 2, 3 hours on a Sunday, but it gives me like, okay, I don't have to think about content now. Messaging people or, like reaching out to people, I do it like 2 or 3 days. I don't do it every day. I have my Fridays and Saturdays for my family, like no business activities then. So I set boundaries, and nighttime I spend like 2 to 3 hours Monday through Thursday to do this. And that's what I do. And sometimes if I feel like, hey, I want to take a day off and just focus on certain things, I will do that. Now I'm at a level where I've been doing this for so long that some of the activities that, I can assign, delegate it to somebody to do it, like maybe creating my graphics or something. Now I hire somebody to do that for me because I don't have the time. Again, I always tell everybody who starts out, like, you have to be you. You cannot come out and be like, I know it all. That's not how it works. But you share what is relatable to you, and that's going to be relatable to your audience. Like you can't be talking about a phase of life that you're not in. Right? So yes,
Yeah.
easily I would say you have to count 2 to 3 hours a day, because initially you also want to spend time learning it. So I'll use my lunchtime. I'll use like after dinner is over, I've spent time with my family in the evening. Then 8 o'clock I start. And then I have an alarm to literally get off the laptop so that I can sleep and get up in the morning. But literally pockets of time. Yeah. And you have to be smart, like make your list and work through it. And Beachbody gives you the tools to do that. It has literally a tracker that tells you what you need to do. And I don't expect people when they start out to do everything. I get them started like, hey, first let's get consistent with posting online. Let's get consistent with a few things. I don't expect you to do all 10 things on the list. That's not how it works. Yeah. Rashmi, you were going to ask me something? I saw you hitting for the unmute button.
Oh, I didn't realize it. So I have a question. I have a full-time job. So how it will be, that's what I'm thinking, just 3 hours. And I see your post over the years. Stories are like almost every day coming 10 stories new. And that's how I see, and
Yeah. True.
certain things I was not paying attention is that, but constant, your feeds are coming. So I couldn't ignore, and that's how I got hooked in. So I think the getting people, that's very important, how much content you post and how much you share, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have to share what you're doing every day. That's how people get hooked. Like, my daughters were telling me they follow like some of these Instagrammers. Like, that's a pregnant lady. Like, what are you following her for? Like, and my kids are teenagers and they're like, Mom, she's so funny. Like every day she shares like her moods because she's pregnant. She's assembling her crib. Like people will follow you literally for anything that creates curiosity, right? So for me, my niche is 40 plus or Indian women who are trying to get healthy. All I kept doing initially literally was like, I am working out this used to be my workout space. It used to be my kids' playroom. I'm working out. This is what I'm eating, breakfast, lunch, dinner every day. And people would see it, right? I share so much information and people can literally, it's not rocket science, but building consistency is what lacks. And that's why they eventually come to me. They're like, how the heck is she consistent? I want that, right? So it's these behaviors that people come to me for, and I guess the energy. So that comes with time. Literally, I remember telling my coach, I was like, and my coach, Nicole, is a life coach. She is high energy, so motivational. And I was like, I cannot be you. And she's like, you don't have to be me. You be you. But yes, posting consistently does matter. And now, like, with Instagram changing every few months, it's like you need to talk so that people hear your voice, people know who you are. That's how they connect. If you look at any Instagrammer who gets famous, it's about you need to connect with your audience, you need to talk to them. Again, it takes confidence. I remember shaking the first time I did my live. But sharing things that you're comfortable sharing. I will never ask you to share something that you're not comfortable sharing.
Right.
So that's what it comes down to. And like, I'm going to tell you, like, some of my Instagram stories where the graphics look so good, I don't do it anymore. I have somebody who does it for me, and there are many resources that you can find or pay, which are not that expensive to get these things done. So why waste my time on things like that are easily available? Even some of my content, I subscribe to a monthly service that gives me content to put in my groups, but sometimes that is not relatable to me. So I don't always use it. Sometimes I'll use because they give me some nice recipes or some ideas, but I'll share something that I know my clients need, right?
Okay.
And I have like posts and everything written up in documents, which I share with coaches. Some of them use it, some of them want to do their thing, and which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. Uh, but there are resources available over time. Initially, I used to do everything. Now I kind of delegate and get a few things done. But yeah, my posts and everything are written by me. It has to be me, right? What I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And it's true for my coaches as well. That's how it is.
So I have another question. As you mentioned that when you want to become a coach, it's better to start with two other and then get a group. So how does it initially first, like if I want to be a coach, I need to know this program fully. So do I need to do the one round of this, like 3-month beach body program? And then because anybody can go and get this buy from the direct online, I believe they can buy the material and get the
Yep.
DVD for the workout.
Yeah.
So they would prefer coach, like what would be the selling
So
point?
the way Beachbody works is if you go online and purchase anything, they'll just assign you a default coach. They'll just assign you anybody, any random person, and that coach might reach out to you or might not. But yes, how to run these challenge groups and everything, I highly recommend you do it first for a month, at least even 2 weeks, get a feel for it. That how do these groups run? Or if somebody was already like running, I don't know, classes or something for you, it would be much easier to figure it out. It's not that difficult. But to understand Beachbody programs, how they work, I definitely recommend that, you sign up first, get a feel for it, and then you start talking about it. That's the number one thing I tell, because how are you going to talk about something you don't know about?
Yeah,
Right?
that's what.
Yeah. So at least do it for a month and give it a shot and see how it goes. But honestly, it is fun. It is fun being part of a community. And the people who stick with it, no. Like Ruchi, I don't know if you want to add something to this. You've been doing this for a while. She did it first without a coach, Beachbody, because you had purchased it online, right? And
Yeah,
later
I
you joined
signed
me.
up. I didn't know that there was a concept of coach in the Beachbody. I just signed up just like that. Like I saw somebody working out and I signed up. So I got a random coach and I was working out for like 2 years and then nothing, like I was not in an accountability group or nothing like that. But then I decided to change my coach to Preeti from that random coach. I didn't know, like nobody even reached out to me like, hey, I am your coach or something like that. So yeah, so having a coach is a big advantage. And when you are a coach, you can also help some people, right? Your friends, your family, anybody, if anybody wants to join as a challenger or as a coach. So it's always good to be in an accountability group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the difference of just buying something online, randomly purchasing things online. Like how many
Yeah.
people purchase programs online and they do nothing with it because nobody's
Yeah.
checking in on them,
Yeah.
right?
Nobody's checking. Yeah.
Nobody's checking in. If somebody buys something through me, trust me, I'm going to check in with you. I'm like, where the heck are you? And my clients know that. Even with my coaches, if they're not showing up, I'll be like, what's going on? Something happening at home? Why aren't you showing up? That is one thing I do. And it's not like I'm doing it every day. I literally time box my day and I stick with it. I don't try and do all 10 things in one day. Like I'll keep to one day for content creation, then I'm done. Because Sundays I'm relaxed. I don't have to think about it, and if randomly, if I'm browsing or something and I like some ideas, I'll just make a list of things and then revisit it only on one day of the week. The communicating with people and all part, I pick, like I said, 2 or 3 days, follow-ups and messaging people. checking in with my coaches. I do it once a week and be like, hey, what's up? Unless they're a new coach, then obviously I give them some more attention the first month till they get the hang of it. I try and keep it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it because there's so many facets to it. But as you keep growing, I will tell you more and more. But first, initially, I need you to get your feet, wet, get the hang of it, and then run with this. Like literally, it is not that complicated. It's not that complicated. It is all in our mind, like, thinking, overthinking, like, I can't do what she does. And I always say, can't compare your chapter to my chapter, right? The first chapter is very different from the last chapter. So give yourself grace and take time to learn. And it will come. It will come. But yes, consistency is very important in this journey, showing up on social media. At least I say 5 days, show up. If you need to take the weekend off, take the weekend off. I'm not expecting you to, but be consistent in your message. And that's how you're going to find people. And I'm going to tell you, 95% of the people who join me is what I call cold market, which means I have never met them in my life. I don't even know them personally. And I built it through social media. So if somebody tells me you can't do it, I'm going to question that. And this is for somebody who didn't even know social media. And I still work full time. But yes, now I've learned how to use my time wisely and go with that.
Yeah, I have also learned over the time, like how to use pockets of time here and there. In the morning, I generally do all these things in the early morning, like workout, making reels is on the weekend. Now I have started doing that. Previously, I used to make it a reel every day. Now I have learned like making a batch of reels on one day is better than doing it every day. And another thing is like, if you're joining, like, for example, if you're joining Preeti as a coach or any other coach as a coach, so you can ask anybody any question. It's not just like you have to ask Preeti. We are a team. So you can ask anybody a question if you need help on anything or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I recently have a new coach who joined us less than a month ago. Her name is Julie. She's in Florida. She has like a 2-year-old son. And she was like, I love sharing. I love telling people because people are asking me. And I was like, yeah, then share. Like, it was like she's not thinking about like, hey, how much money I'm going to make. First, she's like, let me start sharing at least and building confidence. And I'm like, exactly. First, build that confidence that you're sharing. And when people start asking you, what are you doing? Tell them what you're doing, right? I mean, there's nothing hidden. You paid for it. I'm paying for it. We all are paying for it. It's not like, you're going to get some free perks. But yes, it's like any other influencer out there who's trying to sell you something. We're selling a lifestyle. And I don't even like to call it sell. We're actually giving you that gift of a healthy lifestyle, which keeps on giving. Once you build that habit, you're just going to keep doing it. So nothing better than that.
So the coaches continue on your groups, Preeti? Is that what it is? I've seen Julie post there, but yeah.
Yeah. So they continue for a while. I have some experienced coaches who are no longer in my group because they don't need me. They run their own big groups. So if you've seen like Pooja's fitness, there's another Priya, like those are like my bigger coaches who are doing really well. They're seasoned. They do it on their own. They don't need me. So they don't have to be in my groups. But some coaches who still feel like, hey, I would like to be in your group, I let them be, and some of my coaches are like, last year, some of them ended up with some health conditions and they're taking a break. And I'm like, that's fine. That's the thing. This business will give you the ability to take a break if you need it and come back when you're ready again, So I am not going to force you to do anything. This is your journey, how you want to do it. I will always recommend you and tell you, hey, if you want to grow, this is what you need to do. Then it's on you. But if somebody needs to take a break, I give them that space. It's okay. It's okay. They'll come back stronger when they're feeling healthier, and that's fine. So always keep that in mind that literally you can either run with this or you can just keep trying to like take your time and build it as a hobby. But obviously, I would love to see you run because when there's energy and you're new, you bring in more energy and you will carry this faster and farther than somebody who's just been doing this forever. So New energy brings new people in too. So keep that in mind. It's not that complicated. But yes, you will eventually build, you'll have to get over that hurdle of how am I going to talk to people? How am I going to tell them? How am I going to discuss money? Those are hurdles which all of us face. And you'll get over it. Once you do it once or twice, what's the worst case? They're going to say no. For every 10 no's, I used to get one yes, literally. That's how I started. And I still get a lot of no's. Please don't think everybody says yes to me. They'll find out, they want all the information and I send them. But you know what? Eventually they come around. I've had many people who will say, I watched you for a year, or I watched you for 2 years. I'm finally coming around. And it's okay. And there are some who will just sign up right away. So it is what it is. But if you keep showing up, you keep showing how happy you are, which I genuinely am through this journey, you cannot cross out good energy. That's all I'm going to say. People are going to be attracted to energy more than anything. So I think that is definitely a bonus for this journey.
Yeah, so many people who follow me, like they keep telling me in my messages, like, we like to see how you share your journey, but like they're not joining me, but they like to see what I'm sharing and like eating habits and everything. So maybe they'll come around sometime.
They will. Yeah. They eventually do. Always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like me, I followed you for a while and then I got around. So
Yes, I know. I remember Rajni had also.
We had a conversation a few times and yeah.
Yeah, even I think Rajni, I was in Florida the first time she had messaged me. This is like 2 years ago, Rajni. And 2 years later, she came around. So everybody has their time. Again, I never force anybody to join me because I'm like, if they're not ready, they're not going to do the work. I'd rather have you mentally ready to do the work because then I can get you results and then you're going to be excited about it. I can't drag you into this. That's the way. But if you build that energy, you build that momentum and you show them how it's done, they will come. They can't stay away from this energy. That's all I'm going to say. You know, people have seen my before after, but what they like to see is what is she doing every day? It's the actions for which they come. So they'll come.
I have one more question. Like, suppose you do a workout in a group. So it's the like set time where the whole group work out together with you, or they have their own set of time and you provide video?
So I used to run like a Zoom earlier where, you know, people could show up and then some people would show up and then they would fizz out. Then it wasn't worth my time. So I stopped doing it. But literally now everybody works out on their time, whatever works for them. I'm an early morning person. But yeah, I realized not everybody wanted to work at my time. So yeah, you pick a time that works for you and you go with it. So some people work out in the morning, even before me. Some, like I had this lady, she gets up at 4:30. She's done by the time I even come down to my basement. And she has 2 little kids. And then some of them work out at night or they work out during lunchtime when their kids are sleeping. Everybody has different schedules. And some people do a combination also. They might go to like, you know, Orange Theory or something 3 days, and then they come home and in other 2 days, they'll do a Beachbody workout. So people do combinations as well, or they might take some class somewhere and then they're doing this. So literally they can do anything and everything.
So it's a Beachbody is a program. I see you always post a healthy. Is a binge eating also in the middle something, eating out also? Does it happen meanwhile, or you have to strictly follow the program the way it is?
No. You get to eat out. You get to have fun. You know, it's on the weekends. I am going out. I'm enjoying my cocktails. I'm enjoying my desserts. It's only this month I'm observing no cocktails because I'm like, let me try. Let me give my body a detox. But no, you get to enjoy everything in moderation. There's no like keto or all that stuff. No. You're eating everything and anything, but you have to learn portion sizes and how to enjoy it. And I show people how to enjoy their foods without like thinking they have to eat boring salads or steamed veggies in order to get a lifestyle. That is not us. We can't live like that forever. So, you know, that is important. So I know I took up a lot of your time, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I will follow up with each one of you. But definitely consider this. I will send you some more information tomorrow, with more details so you can read over it and let me know if this is something that might interest you, or maybe something you just want to start by sharing your journey. Like you're like, hey, Preeti, first let me see if I can start posting on social media. And we can discuss it. So we can set up a quick 15-minute call and discuss it, how we should start and what we should do. But definitely think about this, and I will get in touch. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.
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 Thanks, Ruchi.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.